Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Duplex. Today we are going to continue building the first part of our Phase 4 factory. In the last episode, you may recall that we got our battery production going and we set up a drone network that will bring bottled nitrogen to the factory and will take empties back to be refilled. And this is going to be used in the next part of the Phase 4 factory once we get the first part done. So just as a reminder, we split Phase 4 into 3 parts to kind of make it a little more manageable in terms of building and designing. So we're currently working on the first chunk, which I'm calling the -2 chunk. And once that's done, we'll go to the next one. So in the first one, we've got, well, let's open it up. We are making all-clad aluminum sheets. We are making aluminum casings. We are making batteries. And we are making copper ingots and copper wire. So what we have left for this part is the processing of the quartz. So we're going to be making quartz crystals and silica. And we also have to make stators, rotors, and motors. And once we do those things, we'll be all set with this first part of the build. And this is what I am going to attempt to complete today. And if we have time at the end of the episode, we can start working on the next one as well. But let's dive into it. Now, in terms of silicon, we have 2 pure and 1 normal silicon node inside this cave. So what I did since the last episode is I ran a belt from the inside to the outside. This is a Mark V belt because we need quite a lot of raw quartz. What are we looking at here? 630 a minute. So I'll show you what I did. Yeah, but over here, I just hooked up to these 2 pure nodes. I put Mark III miners on each. They are both underclocked slightly. Yeah, about 65%. So each one is giving me 315 a minute. Together that makes 630. So we're all set there. And then I just ran this belt. Now, initially I tried building foundations for this belt to run on, but it wasn't working out too well. Because it's not a straight path and there's lots of elevation changes. So eventually I said, well, forget it. I'll just run it on the ground. And that's what I did. And then it comes over here and we can bring it down over here onto the main factory floor. So we need to do 2 things with this quartz. One, we need 5 refineries making pure quartz crystal, and this is going to need water, so I'm going to put these on the lower level, and then the rest of it will go to constructors making silica. Now, I didn't check, but I wonder if there might be a better recipe for silica. Let's take a look real quick. First of all, okay, we've got fused quartz. That's interesting. Yeah, I think cheap silica is the only other recipe we've got where you can combine limestone with the silica, and that'll give you, higher output with less silica, but that also requires quite a lot of limestone. And there's not a lot of limestone in the immediate vicinity, I don't believe. Well, maybe there is. Yeah, there's a little bit over there. not sure what the purity of this is. But anyway, since we've got plenty of silica, I'm just going to use the base recipe. Yeah, that's a normal node. Just made it. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to need 5 refineries, which I think I can just place right here. And actually I have a blueprint for refineries. Yeah, I'm gonna have to modify that blueprint anyway, so I'll just use, I'll just build it manually. And let's see here. Hopefully I can get 5 in a row here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll put the 5th one over here. 5. Okay, and these are going to be pure. There it is. Yeah, this search is this search is not very good. If I type in quartz, it doesn't find it. If I type in pure, then it does find it. Okay, so let's do the pure quartz. And now I can set the recipe. There we go. All right. So these each take in 67.5 per minute. So we'll need Mark IIs on the input. Okay, and then we'll do, I think we needed just a little over 1 pump. Wasn't a whole lot of water. Let's see. Yeah, 37.5 each. So we need 1.56 water pumps. So we can do all that with Mark 1 belt, or Mark 1 pipe rather. So we'll get that hooked up. Okay. Oops. All right. Okay, and then how much water is it? 187.5. All right, so I'll just underclock this one to 67.5. The other one will be 120. So we'll get these powered up, and then we'll bring in the raw quartz. All right. Oh, did those the wrong way. There we go. All right, now in total, these are going to be taking in 337. So that means we need Mark IV belt. There we go. And I'll elevate that. And this needs to be Mark. Oh, yeah, this needs to be Mark V. 1, 2. Let me get to the right height here. And I'm going to put a smart splitter on this. And then I'll just do overflow out either side. Right, and then the rest I'll take out and I'll send to the upper floor. Up here where we will do the other stuff, the silica. All right, just get the power poles in place. Okay. All right. Now, on the output, we'll have 262.5, so that's a Mark III belt, almost a full Mark III belt. So let's put some mergers out here. And I think I'll want to exit here on the left. Oh no. I am misaligned. There we go. Okay, and from each machine, we can do a Mark 1 since it's less than 60. All right. And then I'm going to throw a, let me turn that off. This flashlight, I think it's like, I don't know, it's too bright, I think. I wish you could turn it down a bit. Maybe there's a way to do that I'm not aware of. Okay, and let's get the overflow to the left. Okay. Are we doing good? That's all full. That's full. Okay. Yeah, we're looking good. Oh, I also need to put this into... I also need to put this into cloud storage. So let me add... Let's see. How do I want to do this? I guess we'll do that with the industrial storage. Sometimes we do need silica for signs, or silicon, or what are we calling this? Quartz crystal. Sometimes we need that for signs and things like that. So we want to keep some in cloud storage. And then the rest of this can go up. All right, so let's go directly up here. There we go. Okay, so quartz is done. Raw quartz, anyway. I'll just put a little stub of a belt there, just so we can see what that is for later use, because we'll have to bring that up yet another floor. Okay, so the next thing will be the quartz, or the silica, rather. Sorry, I was going to say quartz crystal, but that's what we just did. Okay, so let me expand the logistics floor a bit. Okay. Let's put a support here for this so that looks a little more realistic. And then I think I really should have put the splitter up there. I guess it doesn't matter so much. But for the silica, I need a little bit less than 300 a minute. Well, that's going to be a Mark IV belt too, I suppose. And where does this end up? Right there. Okay. All right. Close up the hole there. Okay. So for the silica, I need 13 constructors. So let's come over here. And we'll start to set that up. Fortunately, we've got blueprints for constructors. Okay, So this will be from right to left as we look at it this way. And we'll need 2 of these. And I'm going to put these right next to one another. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. So I've got 16. And we want 487.5. 487.5. Or you know what I need? I need 13 divided by 16. 0.8125. Okay, so that's how I'm going to clock these things. 81.25. Okay, so that'll give me the output that I want, and then I don't have to, you know, I don't have to remove any of the machines from here. And it'll use slightly less power this way as well. Let's get this hooked up. I'll make that a Mark II pole to simplify things. Okay. All right, and silicon coming in, or raw quartz coming in is 292.5, so half of that is about 150. All right, so we'll split this into Mark IIIs. Yeah, and we've already got Mark III belts here, so that's just fine. We just need to link the 2 halves together. Now on the output, 487.5. That's going to be a Mark V belt, I think. Yeah, that's going to be a Mark V belt. Okay, so we need to upgrade all these to Mark Vs. Fortunately, we got our aluminum, our all-clad aluminum plate production up and running, so that should be no problem. Yeah, in fact, here it is over here. All right. Yeah, I think this is ready to hook up, basically. So let's head down below. Okay, these are Mark IIIs. Oh, crud. Okay, let's try it like this. There we go. We'll send this into a smart splitter. And like we did before, we'll send this into a container. But I'm going to wait a few minutes because I want these machines to fill up. Yeah, I don't have any raw quartz on me, so we'll just have to wait a few minutes. Okay, now this one's full. I should probably also have batteries. I should also have batteries going to a sink too, shouldn't I? No, it won't let me do that. Alright. I'm gonna have to relocate this. Put that there temporarily. And we'll do the overflow out the left side. Okay. All right. Okay, that's as high as it goes. Oh, are you joking me? Oh, I know what the problem is. Yeah. It's because I didn't put the 1, 2. There we go. It's because I didn't place the merger first. But now this should run straight across. Okay, great. Too long? Yeah, too long. Alright, let's see if I can... Now, why doesn't it want me to do that? Okay, I know what I can do. Let's see, that's right about there. Is that on the midline? Yes, it is on the midline. Okay. No, that's still not going to help. I might have to go around. Ah, no, I don't. Is that the middle? Okay, that looks right. Okay. I did it. That was a bit of a pain. All right, and then I'll just put a merger right here. Okay. And then we'll put the sink over here. And we'll put a dimensional depot here. Okay, I think we can go ahead and connect this now. And overflow on the right. There we go. Okay, and this ought to fill up pretty quick at the rate that we're producing these things. Okay, so I think we're looking pretty good so far. All right, so we got all of our silicon stuff done and the quartz stuff done, and now we need to do rotors and stators and motors. Now, and we need to ship all three, so a portion of the rotors and stators will go towards making the motors, and then the excess will get passed on as well. And we're talking small quantities here. All right, so looks like we'll need 2 sets of 6 machines. I'll probably overclock these so I can fit those into 6 as well. Let's expand our foundations up here a bit. Okay, I've got assemblers in groups of 8. All right, so we can use 2 of these. Or I guess we'll need 3 of them. 1 for rotors, 1 for stators, and then... Or, yeah, rotors, stators, and motors. And these are going to use steel pipes. Okay, and yeah, I'll set them up in the same relative orientation here. Let me look in there. Okay, good. So there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. All right. So first one, let's do the rotors, steel rotors, and we need 6 machines here. Okay, so that's going to be steel rotor. And clock speed is going to be, we need the output of 6 with 8. So 6 divided by 8. %. There we go. Okay. Let's get these hooked up to power. Speaking of power, let's see how we're doing. We're still doing great. Now, you can see my power is still flapping up and down. So I don't know if I'll ever be able to... I don't know if I'll ever be able to fix it so that my fuel generators all just run nonstop continuously. Okay, so this is going to use steel pipe and wire. So the first thing I'll need to do is get the steel pipe brought over. We already know where we can pick up the wire, which will be from here. But the steel pipe has not been run over from the train station yet, so we'll do that now. Okay. Just extend this a bit, and then I think what I'll do is, I think I'll just run it along the ceiling. Right down the center here. No, right down here. I'll just put that there as a placeholder so I can see how far out I need to go. And how much steel pipe are we using here? Okay, 166.5. So that'll be a Mark III. got to reverse it. There we go. Hey, you know what? I don't have a train here. Okay. That's something that I forgot to do. So, yeah, let's set up a train station. I had forgotten all about that. Now, yeah, we do have rail over here from the phase, pardon me, from the phase 3 factory. So it shouldn't be too hard, pardon me, it shouldn't be too hard to connect the steel factory to the rest. Is this another geothermal well? No. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this might take a little doing. I'm gonna need to hook up over there, I think. Yeah. Okay. Well, first things first. Yeah, I think I want the head of the train facing this way. So let's start setting up the train station. Where are we at? Here we go. That's what I wanted. All right, train station. Yeah, that looks good there. All right, and we'll call this steel. And we're going to have 3 cargo platforms, or freight platforms. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll have 1 empty. All right. I may have painted myself into a corner here. I think I can deal with it. All right, so here's the steel pipe. Yeah. Well, what if I did it this way? Yeah, it's not liking that. Okay, I'm gonna have to make myself more room here. And we'll move this over another tile or 2. So let's add more foundation. Okay, that looks good. All right, and then once again, 3 freight platforms. Make sure they're all facing the same way. They tend to flip around after you place the first one for some reason. Okay. And these are going to be loading the train. Yes. Okay, good. So, once again. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I need the pipes to be... Ugh. I need the pipes to be the first wagon, because that's how I set up my receiving station back there. So we'll do it like this. Okay. And then these are the steel beams. I'll bring those to the last one, I guess. All right. And then the encased beams we'll bring in there. And those are not going in. Why is that? Oh, because I have no power. That can be a bit of a problem. All right, and we're just to this side. All right, we'll do that. There we go. Now they're loading up. Okay. Now the tricky part. I think I'm going to have to add... Well, maybe not. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh. Is that straight? I think so. Okay. And we'll put a block signal on the output. I don't know why. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and then I think right there. Whoops. Nope, that's not right. Or is it? Yeah, okay, that's right. All right. Okay, so let's put in the locomotive. Okay. Now, this one in particular... I have to change the name of this station. Yeah, you know what, let's get this hooked up first, and then we'll worry about the train schedule. But first of all, we'll change the name. Okay. All right, now the hard part. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a bit of a challenge actually, because can't see the rails here. I think we can see the rails on this map. Yeah, so we're over here. But I need to get up there. I need to get on this section of rail to get over there. Now I can connect to this section of rail, and then we can come down this way, and then I can put a loop. That will be probably a bit of a challenge, but I think it's worth a try. But I think we should try to build that before I invest time in connecting it to this section of rail. Because if that doesn't work, then what I'll have to do is exit out this way, and I'll have to build, I'll have to build a lot more rail to get out there, and that's something that I'd probably have to do in between episodes. Hey, is he one of mine? No. No, the ones I tamed are long gone, and they're never coming back. Okay, yeah, let's see if we can add a loop back here. Okay, maybe it won't be as hard as I thought. Okay, that's not quite going to work out. So let's try this. I'm going to add some foundation there, because I want to split this into smaller sections. Path signal, and that's a path signal. Okay, I think this should work. But yeah, let's test it out. Let's test it out. Okay, so when we exit, we're only going to need to go to the left as we come out of here. Really, I want it to merge in like right about there. Okay. Huh. I don't know why the rail seems to lose power when you do that. Okay. Okay, so we'll put a path signal there and change that to a path signal. Okay, and then this needs to be a path signal. Right, okay, everything looks okay. All right. Now let's go do the other side. Okay. Okay, so that's a block signal. That's already a pass signal, so that should be fine. At some point I'll come out here and I'll build all the proper supports and things to make this look actually feasible. Okay. I think this should do it. It's not pretty, since I didn't plan it this way initially, but I think we should be connected now. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go to steel. And then we're going to go to P4 steel in. And in this case, we are going to load only steel pipe. And we're going to stay until we're completely loaded. Or 15 seconds. That seems fine. And then when we get to steel in, I'll just wait until we're fully unloaded with 0 wait time, and we are going to unload only steel pipe. Okay, let's try it. Hope it works. All right, there's the steel pipe. Now, will it consider it fully loaded if it only loads one thing and I have empty cars? I hope so. Okay, good. Let's hope this works. So far, so good. I mean, I guess if there was a problem with my signaling, it probably would have told me by now. Okay, now it's reserved a path. Off we go. Nice. Okay, here we come to drop off. I hope I set this to unload. There we go. Nice. And there it goes. I can see it flowing on the belts now. Okay, so far so good. Now let's make sure we get back. Awesome. Okay. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit surprised that it worked. I'm not always super confident with my rail signaling. Okay, awesome. Right, and then it'll just loop like this until the station is full. And then it'll wait until it can completely unload. So eventually the pace of these stops will slow down until we're just consuming whatever's needed. Okay. All right. Well, that did sidetrack me a little bit. So I don't think I'm going to be able to finish that the rotor and stator and motor production here in this episode. But you've seen me set that up before, so I think what I will do before the next episode, first of all, I'm going to clean all this stuff up. You know, I'll add supports and extend the railing and all that kind of stuff to make this look nice and pretty. And then I'll go ahead and finish building the motor, stator, and rotor production. And then in the next episode, we will be able to get started with the second part of Phase 4, which is going to be making radio control units, cooling systems, electromagnetic control rods, and fused modular frames. Now for this, we're also going to need to bring in some additional materials, right? This is where we'll start using the nitrogen. We're going to be bringing in heavy modular frames from the Phase 3 factory, so we'll have to belt that over. And everything else is already taken care of. So, yeah, so I'll belt over the heavy modular frames as well so that we can concentrate on building. Bit of a complicated product. Well, it's actually not too bad. We've got our 4 main production setups for the parts that we want. Yeah, and then beside that, there's only a few other components that we need to make, so this actually won't be too bad. The high-speed connectors, 12 and a half of those. That's a lot of machines. I might just end up overclocking those so that we don't have so many, but we'll see how it goes. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I will see you all in the next episode. Take care.